And we're live. And the bells are ringing in the background.
See?
That's right.
Must be 6 o'clock.
Got chat. Hola. Cindy and Stephanie. And I'm having a hard time reading. Jesus. Hola. Welcome to our channel and our live stream. And here we are.
Yes, we are.
And
we have a question for you guys while we're getting all this going up.
Yeah.
We see on our feed here what we see back, a flashing red. Do you guys see that?
It's like an orange colored light and it flashes.
Like a cop car behind us with red lights on going doosh,
Yeah.
doosh.
It's like intermittent. I think it's the feed. I don't think you guys are going to see that. I know that we've rolled out the lights, so it's not our lights, but it's happened before. And I think it's got something to do with the feed. So if you happen to notice some sporadic red flashing light or orange light, please let us know if you see that. And if you don't see that, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, you do see it. Oh, they see it. They don't see it. Okay, I'm so confused now. Jesus sees the light.
Jesse sees the light.
But Stephanie doesn't see the light. Do you see the light?
Yes. It's like
Okay, and Zen Maiden also sees it. Okay, well, I don't know what it is then. I think it's just the feed. I think it does it. So we're going to look like the cops are after us, I guess.
Or an ambulance is behind us, one of the two.
Something. No. Something's not good.
Yeah, it's intermittent. It just seems to go like cop lights.
Yeah, like it's very obvious on the left because it's hitting this. Well, it's lighting up the green tree. But no, we've seen it before, and we didn't know what it was coming from. And I thought it was our light kit, but it's not the light kit.
No. Turn the lights off and still get it.
I mean, I think when we had issues with the current,
yes,
then we might have noticed it, but it's not that either. So here we are. Okay, so I missed some people, so let's say hello to some people that we just sort of
go all the way back up there to Pawpaw.
Well,
Papa.
Right there. Yes, Zen Maiden and Papa. Greg Gordon. Oh, I love this. Look, I'm going to show this. Flash. I love it.
Hey. At least it's an A.
Yes. Lambden. Hello, Lambden. Welcome. And Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Oh, gosh. Yes, it's subtle. It's a truth teller. Hey, here we go. Hola, Teller. Thank you for joining us tonight. Checking out Watuco again this winter. We are looking to exit Canada. To Americans, you won't like it up here. That's why we're here.
That's why we headed south.
That's why we came to Mexico. Yeah, that we recently, I'm sure that you've probably seen it. I had a video about why we came down, and it kind of blew up. And we kind of knew that it would. It's one of those topics that people get really, 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 really hopped up on. So, and we try to stay very neutral.
And we're going to leave it at that.
Exactly.
And
we won't talk about it anymore tonight.
Nope. Nope.
Hi, Anne. Watching from Thailand. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It is hard to believe it's been 2 years ago today. Today was when we crossed the border with Sir Dragon X, Ernie Baca, and went to, from McAllen to Monterrey, and thus began the adventure.
Adventure, that's right. Jesus, or the party is about to start. Hey. Oh no, Shane. The cops are outside. Oh goodness.
Fortunately, that would be the first time. No, it wouldn't.
See, look at it. Every time I make a move to love you, 1, 2, 3, red light. Oh. Ramon.
God, that's an old game.
Oh, let's see here. Felicidades por 2 años, Mark y Gina. Thank you, Lambden. Gracias. Interesting today. I got up this morning to the sound of a marching band. Early, really early, like 8:30,
Um,
about 8:30 or 9.
is
No,
when you heard them.
when
No,
no, I know.
they're about 7:15 this morning. I heard them off in the
Way
distance.
off in the distance.
Uh-huh.
And they just kept getting closer and closer. And I was up and then I went back to bed because I just didn't feel like getting up. And I just kept hearing them. And I kept thinking to myself, should I get up, get dressed, and run outside and find this marching band? Nah, I'll never catch up with them. And then it just kept getting louder and louder. The story is, if I had got up when I first said that to myself, I probably would have caught them. But I just kept putting it off. So then I do all the search online and I find out that how could I forget? Today is Revolucion, right? It was the day we came into Mexico. It was a holiday. And 2 years ago today, and I looked up and saw that they had a parade today around 10:20, I think, in Puebla. So I put the drone up in the air, kind of hoping that I could get some really interesting parade shots from the sky, because I didn't feel like trying to go out and find a place to stand on a sidewalk. And, every time I'm in a city with that drone, I panic because its radio frequency gets disrupted by other radio frequencies, and there's towers and stuff, and then I lose control of the drone and it starts taking off, and what does it do? It goes straight up, and we have a limitation on how high you can fly. So it's going straight up, and I have a warning on my display saying you are above the set elevation, and just it makes me really nervous. I literally lost control of the drone 3 times today. I couldn't wait to get it back. So
Yes.
I haven't even looked at the footage. I hope it's good footage. Parade looked fun.
Sounded fun.
Sounded fun. Yeah. Just wanted to say that. So I see it, but I'm used to seeing it in Mexico and doing it out. Oh, the cops sure do
Yes,
like to
they
have
do.
their lights on. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Uh, hey, hola.
Hola.
We're going to be meeting up with you like this week or next. This is exciting. Um, let's see. Are you still running the cat house? No, Jack. That lasted about a month. Literally, we were in Oaxaca City for 10 weeks, and 4 of those weeks was taking care of the cats. There's an organization called Atrapagatos, which goes out and traps cats and has them sterilized and then returned to wherever they got them from. And one of those organizers of Atrapagatos took the 2 kittens and has been taking really, really good care of them. So
Renamed them Hansel and Gretel.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and they're not even biological siblings, but they're inseparable. I mean, they just.
Yep. Hey, girlfriend, amiga, how are you? Hi, Arlene. And Ricky. Hello, Ricky. Here we go. True 20 de noviembre. What we celebrate, don't know. All I know is that I didn't work. Yeah, I actually, in the United States, we really don't get much, if anything.
I was fixing to say,
if anything,
much.
Yeah.
The only time that Mexico gets mentioned in American history is the Alamo.
Yeah,
That's
it's
about
pretty
it.
sad. It's pretty sad that we live smack in the middle of 2 countries, and we learn nothing about those to the north or those to the south. The history books in the United States have mandatory reading and studying of ancient Greek history, Roman history, and European history. That's pretty much the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet here we are. We've got Mexico South, Canada North, and we learn nothing, virtually nothing about them. So when we came into Mexico, that was one of the things that we loved, was that we were learning the history, starting with San Miguel de Allende and Dolores Hidalgo. We learned a lot of stuff then. And so we didn't realize when we came into Mexico that we were coming in on a holiday. So,
No, Ernie was telling us because we were amazed at the line of traffic coming out of Mexico
mhm,
going into McAllen. And he explained to us that it was because nobody worked that day and they all go shopping in McAllen and get things that they want to get
yeah.
from the other side of the border that are cheaper and then come back. And I mean, it was backed up. It was several hours worth of backup. And fortunately, in our direction, it was, and we got the green light and got to go through. And
So, with the little bit of time I had today, and I was really trying to cram a lot of things into it, just a few hours this afternoon, I did look up some of the history of the Revolucion, and I didn't realize that it was as long as it was and that it was as recent as it was. And there's a lot that I still need to learn and read. I'm fascinated with all this. But yeah, it seems like a pretty bloody conflict, a period of time in Mexico's history. And a lot of people died, mostly civilians.
well, that tends to be true in most conflicts, especially ones that
Yeah.
are civil. It ends up being that, you get people from that are caught just in bad situations. And let's
Mm.
be for real, Mexican people, they're passionate, and that's
Absolutely. Shane, which drone do you have? My old one used to do all sorts of crazy stuff, but my new one has been very reliable so far. We have a DJI Air 2S
mhm,
drone. I know they have newer models. What I noticed, this happened in Merida. It happened in Merida and it happened here. And I noticed that when it happens, it's close to the towers. There's like cell
cell
towers,
towers.
something. When it gets close to those towers, it will lose connectivity with my cell phone.
It's like it's getting jammed because
Yeah,
there's so much coming out of the tower
yeah.
that it can't overcome it, and it just sort of loses it, and then it just goes straight up.
It goes straight up. Now I have it's set to go straight up. Um, it has a return to home setting automatically when it gets disconnected, and that's fine. Return to home is fine. I don't want it going straight up when it does it, and when it's doing that, it's trying to relocate my signal. But the problem is if I'm in an area that has like a no-fly zone or a cautionary fly zone, I don't want it going up like that. So it makes me really nervous when that happens. I try
Mm-hmm.
really hard not to fly it in those situations. And to be fair, I was trying to fly it from the roof of the condo complex where we're located. I only had to go a few streets over, but the problem is there's towers all along those
And going
streets.
in that direction, it was also going closer to the tower.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, Suzanne, you made alive. Good for you, girl. Thank you for coming. Hey, this is a good question. Vabalicious, how are your Spanish lessons going? How do you feel? You're going into basically level 6 now, right?
I'm not in. We're almost done with level 6.
Oh,
We got a couple more weeks, I think, and we're done with level 6. Um, Great opportunity for us to tell you.
yeah.
Both of us are using expat Spanish, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a great program. I'm in the. This is the first time they've offered
Turn this
level
down.
6, and so it's sort of a pilot program that we're doing in 6, and
Okay.
so we're tweaking it as we go, and it's gone very well. I mean, the biggest issue I have, and it's going to be ongoing for me, is two things: por and para. Which one to say when?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. That one's rough.
and then right now we're working on the low, lay, te, me, and those pronouns to put those in, and yeah, it's getting better. And when we first started doing it, we were just doing it all in Spanish, and then we started to do it in Spanish, and then we would translate it into English, and that actually helped us. I think all of us agreed that there's 5 of us that are in the class. All of us agreed that then translating it into English helped hammer home why we were using that particular pronoun. So, yeah, I like it.
I like it too. Like, I should share the link. I'm going to share the link if you guys are interested. Um, beneath our videos, there are links for expat Spanish, and you can get a discount, I believe.
I think it's
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah. Let me find it. I got to find it. Gosh, I feel so silly right now.
But
There it is.
Denise and Amy, who are the two teachers, are phenomenal.
Mm. Okay,
and we have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot.
We do have fun.
I mean, it's yeah.
I just finished up level 4, and I have to say it was very difficult, and I felt like I maybe wanted to repeat level 4, but Denise said no, that with practice it gets better, and that I really didn't need to repeat level 4. I could move on to level 5. Some of the things that we tackled were the por and para, like he said, adding ing, basically. What is that called?
Iando.
Yeah, the to words, so that we can talk about future or some of the present tense things. And the climate. I made up my own little saying that el clima es el diablo, because I'm having a hard time just dealing with climate, how to retain the right words, to use them the correct ways.
Well, and klima ends in an A, but it's masculine.
Yeah. I mean, it just takes practice. But look, I'm so much better than I was. I really am.
I mean, think about where we were 2 years ago, and we stood there and stared at the guy at the I&M counter coming across the border, and he wasn't going to let us in. Thank God Ernie was there, because Ernie was talking to him, going, "No, you're wrong," and
no,
we had no clue.
Can I carry on a regular conversation with someone? No, but we had somebody come in and bring us a garrafón the other day, and I was just like, "Necesito agua para mi café." Hey, that works.
Mm-hmm.
And he laughed, because
I can get a basic conversation.
He's actually pretty good. So
I can probably do 60-70% on what they're saying, and then there's times if there's palabras that no entiendo.
And to be fair, we both butcher some words pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then, but we are getting better. And I notice little interactions in the grocery store with people, for example, or maybe someone on the street asking a question or something. We do okay. When we don't do okay, we have Google Translate.
Well, and the best part actually is that the people here are so wonderful that if you try, they actually just go, they'll work with you and do it with a great smile on their face. So,
okay, Papa, watch for my first ever YouTube short in a few weeks. It's going to be me eating churros in Jardín Tequis in San Luis Potosi, and calling out Mark. Oh man. I know you miss those.
I do.
He misses those with his Azamora.
See?
Yeah.
Con the Zazamora. And it got to the point I didn't even have to order. It just was.
They had it getting ready.
Show up.
Hola, jet lag. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, Cindy's laughing at Papa. Yeah. Hi, Bob. Thank you. We're glad you're here this evening. Wait, it's okay. Arlene, it's okay, honey. We know it's all right. We can't wait to see you too.
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks, we'll be in Querétaro. Yay! And Alfredo, hola. Saludos de La Paz. All right. I bet it's warm in La Paz. And I just saw somebody mentioned that. How did I get past that?
Whoop, down, 2, down, another one.
There we go. More. Yes. Yeah, we're sitting outside just because it's really pleasant, but the temperatures in Puebla around now have been getting into the 40s at night.
Yeah, upper 40s
Yeah.
overnight, and it's comfortable. But then there's a little bit of a gust of wind, and that gust of wind suddenly goes woo.
Oh my.
You know, so
It's really comfortable here though.
yeah, no, I mean during the day, it's yeah, I mean my Spanish class starts at 9 in the morning, and I've got a hoodie on at the beginning, and by the time it's done, the hoodie is off, and I'm sitting out here going, okay, it's comfortable now. So
Hey, Wilfredo, 2.5 more weeks, buddy. Excited, excited. Oh, Jesus, you're in Querétaro. Yay. So we got a lot of people. We're going to be in Querétaro for 6 months. Definitely wasn't the original plan. We just needed a break.
but
Yeah,
speaking of that time we're going to spend in Querétaro,
yeah.
January the 25th,
Oh,
we are doing a big meet and greet up in San Miguel de Allende with Ernie Baca from Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, two travelers in Mexico, Mark and Paulette.
let me write that down.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was on a flow, and then it suddenly, truly remarkable life from Ajijic, retired in Mexico, or retired life Mexico. Luisa and Steven. And I'm leaving.
Boom.
I'm leaving somebody out.
All right, let me think about what you said.
Amy, destination retirement or something. There's like 7 or 8 different YouTubers.
We're still adding people.
It's still
adding people.
It's growing and
Karen from La Karencita
yep.
expressed interest. Yeah, so we have at least 6, if not 7, YouTube channels that are definite, and others that we're still adding. So, did you say Luisa and Michael?
I did.
Yeah, okay. And that's going to be in San Miguel de Allende. Ernie Baca from Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, is in the works of arranging a place where we could do this.
Yep.
I think that we're probably going to have.
He's already got a couple of hotels that he's talking with.
I think we're going to have a dinner with just the YouTubers and do like a little collaboration session with each other, and then we're going to have an actual meet and greet with subscribers.
I don't know.
We're still working on it. Just keep that date open if you're interested. It's going to be January 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I think so. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm missing things. See. And Yvette, it's cool tonight in Querétaro. I bet it is in San Luis Potosi as well. And it was really cloudy here today. Like we could not even see the volcanoes.
Nope.
And I have to say that with plural. I thought there was one volcano and some mountains. Didn't realize there were 3 volcanoes, but I think only one is active.
And speaking of that, it is active.
It is active.
Because there is ash in the air. And constantly, I come out here to do my Spanish class and go back in, and I have to wipe down the entire computer because in 1 hour it has got a coating of ash on it. So
it's not ash that you can see.
No,
it's not like a dirty, dusty.
It's just a gritty.
It's gritty.
It's a black, small, tiny, black, gritty, and it's like constantly. So
yep. It doesn't bother me breathing though. I notice I look every day for air quality as I'm looking. I have like the Google Weather app widget on my phone, and the air quality has been really good since we got here. I know that's probably not always the case, but it has been good despite the fact that there's
No, because
been.
the first time we drove through here, it was definitely
Oh no,
not
no.
good.
That's when it was very smoky. Yeah, 2 years ago, Popo was erupting, and there was ash swirling around on the highway like dry snow. Right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it looked like it was almost the same color as the road, but it looked like the road was actually moving, and I was like,
Yeah, that was weird.
okay, what's going on here?
Oh, David. David, how are you?
How's the little one and Mama?
Oh my gosh, we miss you.
Yes, we'll be back in San Miguel on the 25th.
But we'll be in Querétaro for 6 months.
Yes, we are, but I'm just saying.
All right. Hey, Suzanne, let's see. Is everybody a couple in your reunion?
No,
No, I don't think so.
no,
Well,
because I think Tom has expressed interest that he may come down. He's single from Pennsylvania,
yeah.
and so no, it, it doesn't matter anyway. We come one, come all. It's
Sure. Absolutely. So let's see here.
Yeah, Wilfredo, you're right. It is Luisa and Michael. I said Luisa and Steven. I was wrong.
He's thinking of Steven from Why Not
Why
Now.
not now?
Because I went back and I was watching a few of Why Not Now's older videos, particularly on one was on Oaxaca City, and one was on I think Querétaro. Anyway, I was just going back and watching a few. So he's got Stephen and Lisa Marie on his brain because I was
there. Yeah, I know. There's lots of things on this brain that just
So let's talk a little bit. We are in, my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this, location number 15. 15. We have been in 15 places in Mexico. That's insane. And we're not done.
And that's not including destinations that we spent the night in, going just passing
like
through,
one
like
night.
Monterrey, Aguascalientes, Villahermosa,
etc.
Yeah.
But 15 cities we've stayed in for at least a month or longer.
Yep.
And we technically still have about
13, 12.
I think at this point it's like 11 or 12 left to do. Again, those numbers may get massaged depending on future events coming up here. I'm still trying to find work, and we had to massage the schedule for the 6 months we're spending in Querétaro. But yeah.
Well, we needed the break.
We did.
I mean, like we have talked before on here, that we didn't, when we first got here, we were so excited, and boom, 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 and adrenaline kept us going and everything else. And then adrenaline wore off. I mean, the thrill of being here is still there, but suddenly the packing the car every month or every 2 months, and it just was like,
oh yeah,
whoa. It used to be that even for a month we basically unpack everything and then we'd pack it all back. And this one, half the stuff is still in the car, because we've got very secure parking, and it just was like, no.
David, we're looking forward
to
seeing you as well. Can't wait, in fact. So you can count on it. Not just January 25th either. We're not that far away when we get to Querétaro. So I'm excited about it. And Jesse, I'd come down, but that week I'm in Merida getting my canje. Oh, right. Yeah.
That is more important. And yes, I got a feeling that if this turns out the way we hope it's going to be, this is probably going to be something that would occur again, because
I think so too.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's interesting because we do communicate with some of the other creators, and we swap ideas. And have you guys seen this, as far as trend and how you guys, all of a sudden you guys have started getting a lot more viewers? What have you done different? So there's all those types of conversations that go back and forth. And, it's,
and I'm sure you're aware that channels come and channels go. Like people have a good run for a year or two, and they just seemingly vanish. And so there's always new people out there to get to know and maybe do collaborations with and bounce ideas off each other. So that's one aspect of this meet and greet for us, is just getting together with other YouTube creators. And then the other aspect, of course, is meeting you.
Yes,
So
that's actually the more exciting part of it. I mean, because I don't know how, if we have 7 different channels there, the thought of being able to try and do something that's going to require some serious coordination,
yeah,
equipment wise, and recording, and
it can be done.
it can be done. Yeah.
That technical part, he doesn't. No.
What? I'm the one that starts doing the lights and starts figuring
the
out
lights and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And oh gosh, Mezcal and Gringos are us. Heck, I'm celebrating. Indeed.
Salud, Lambden.
Indeed. I just bought some mezcal here. I typically don't buy mezcal because I'm the only one that drinks it. So I'll just have some when we're out somewhere. But I did buy a small bottle here in Puebla because it has cempasúchil flowers in it, or marigold flowers. And it just, I don't know.
Well, that shop had some interesting things in some mezcal bottles.
Oh yeah, they had the mezcal with the snake. They had the mezcal with the scorpion. They they had all kinds of. They had the sweet flavored cream mezcals, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they were right next door to the cigar store. So I'm in getting my cigars.
Well, he said that was his niece.
It's Sabrina.
Yeah,
See,
his niece owns the mezcal store. So that's really cool. And Susan, oh Lord, how's the job hunt going? One dead end after another. Guys, I have not worked in 14 months. The job I had for 9 months, and we have lived off the money that I made from that job for 23 months. But I keep trying.
Yep.
I keep trying. I keep getting phone calls. I keep getting emails. Sometimes I get 7, 8, 9 different recruiters calling me for the exact same job. And the problem is a lot of recruiters are not very professional. And for my part, I'm required most of the time to sign a right to represent with only one of them. And you never know, well, which one of these recruiters works for a company that's going to end up getting this client's contract. You don't know.
Yeah,
so
it's taking a poke. I mean, it's
literally a crapshoot. You're just like, okay. And so here I am, 14 months, job after job, still looking for a job.
People missing out on some good talent, though.
Yeah, so doing what I can. I even registered my own LLC so I can do corporate contract work on 1099. That way it clears out any kind of IRS tax issues for W-2 employees who are outside the country. But it just doesn't seem to be working out. Yet. We're crossing our fingers. And, the worst case scenario is that let's say the middle case scenario is while we're in Querétaro, we can talk to our Airbnb host and see if he'll let us just pay rent, since we are going to be there for 6 months. And, we're here in Puebla right now, and this place is not cheap. And I did ask our host, out of curiosity, I told our host that we are traveling around looking at different cities to see if there's one that we might like to reside in. And I said, we were very comfortable here. What would a place like this typically cost in rent? And darn it all, if he did not agree, like all the other hosts we have asked, literally it would be about half. It's half. So Airbnb fees add almost 50% on top of, or more. Well, they are 50%.
Right. They're 50% of the cost for us is going to Airbnb.
a place like this in Puebla might be even still a little bit out of our price range, even for rent, unless I was working.
If you were working, be
If I
no-brainer.
was
But
working, this would be easy. I mean, it is a private condominium. It's a very nice condominium, um, good parking, good services, fantastic location. But unless I'm working, it would be out of our
yeah,
price range.
well, I mean, in what that video will be
It'll be
3
coming
weeks,
3, 4 weeks.
3 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, by the time we get to Querétaro, we'll be dropping the Puebla videos.
basically.
So
Now, so I'm thinking in Querétaro, what we're paying for the Airbnb, maybe he'll take half or a little more than half. And if he does, then I'm not going to panic too much about not having a job over the next 6 months. But
then we'll cross that bridge when it comes to
that's a middle of the road scenario. We're working on it, keeping the hope alive.
That's it.
And Wilfredo, I miss Why Not Now. I do too, Wilfredo.
I missed the early Why Not Now.
I know.
I'm just
I know when they were happy and they were excited. Yeah, I do miss Why Not Now. Sometimes I thought their videos were a little long, but they always had really good information and they had good chemistry.
Yeah.
That nice rapport.
I'm not going to say anything about anybody having long videos because God knows we're as guilty of that as anybody.
They used to do these 40-minute walk around the neighborhood.
I know.
And it's hard to pay attention for 40 minutes sometimes. But yeah, I miss them. I like them a lot. I wish that I tried a couple of times to reach out to them and never heard back from them. So I don't know whatever happened to them. So, Landon, Saludos Pueblo has excellent mezcal. Oh, good. Because I bought that Cempasúchil, and I am hoping it's good stuff. I mean, I did taste it in the shop. It was very, very slightly sweet, which was a little bit different. But otherwise, it tasted very smooth. It didn't feel like it was cheap mezcal to me. It seemed like a quality artisanal mezcal.
And got to give kudos to the cigar store next door because they're actually in there rolling the cigars Monday through Friday, and good stuff.
Oh, hit that button again. Stop.
Don't be blocking anybody.
I'm not trying to.
Okay.
Suzanne, thank you. For those who don't know, I actually do colored pencil paintings, is what we actually call them. I would call them colored pencil drawings, except there's a whole lot more to them than just drawing.
Oh yeah.
It's literally laying multiple layers of different colors together, just like you paint. In fact, for anyone who wonders what it's like, oil paintings are opaque, and you typically start with your darkest colors first, and you work your way up to your lightest colors in layers. Watercolor is typically the opposite because it's translucent. So you start with your lightest colors first, and you work up layers to your darkest. Well, colored pencil is mostly like watercolor. You start with very light layers and you build up to your darkest layers. And when I say layers, I typically will have a minimum of 10 different colored layers on a skin tone. And if the skin is darker, like brown or black, it could have 18 to 20 layers.
Like Omar.
Omar was probably like a
12 to 14.
About a 12 to 14. And the thing is when I started doing Omar's hair, I realized that he was very anemic looking. I didn't make his skin tone dark enough, but
well, you were seeing him through the mezcal eyes after having sat there at his bar for several hours. It's like, oh, that's how I saw him.
I know. It still looked like him. He just looks a little pale.
Blame it on the flash.
I'm blaming it on the flash, for real. Let's see. Lisa Marie, let's talk about this. Was or is a philosopher, yeah. And very relatable. I was watching them as I was making my mind about where to live. And I thought they were very fair.
No, they were very, I mean,
very real,
cut to the middle,
down to earth, and very fair about their assessment. Um, they never trashed a place. They would say that it didn't fit them and give the reasons why, but they always maintained that that location might work for you. It wasn't until the end when they started getting really antsy about their income that it started to get bad, and I felt bad for them. They had obviously had hoped that they were going to come here and make a living off of YouTube videos, and it didn't work out. But I
no.
don't know what happened to them. So I think you can open a small area, perhaps in a shop with your beautiful artwork. Suzanne, thank you. I appreciate that. I would, but realistically speaking, that would put me in competition with
Locals.
Mexican citizens and locals, and I don't really want to compete with people who um, are obviously very, very talented and don't draw the same income uh, potential as I might, being where I'm from. So, you
No,
know,
I mean, and most of the time, what she has done when generating revenue has been commission work, where somebody has gone, yo, these are my grandparents, or you know, one of my favorites that she did was the woman had what, three granddaughters or three
there's
daughters,
grandchildren,
three grandchildren,
all born in different years.
but
Like,
she wanted a portrait of the three of them at the same age. And so
yeah,
Gina was able to make that work where you had, Tom, Dick, and Harry all right there. I don't know what their names are, but and as babies. And so that made grandmother very happy.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was a gift she was giving to her daughter, the mother of the babies. I think the children were all about 2 years apart each, and yeah, so they're all the same age in the drawing that I did. Oh, let's see. And oh, I understand. Never thought of it that way with other citizens. Makes sense. Yeah. And I got to tell you, in a video that's coming up in a couple of weeks, the arts in Mexico. I don't know what it is. Do they just really strongly support the arts? The
they value them.
the artists in the streets who do murals and stuff are so phenomenal with a spray paint can. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Well, then we walked by when we were in Oaxaca. We walked by one day, and the gentleman was the artist was actually there painting a
Mhm.
mural, and he was taking a break and having a conversation with somebody. And we went back, I don't know, 2 weeks later with Winston and Terry,
And
and
it
it
was done.
and it was done. It
And
was
it was
just like,
done.
whoa, hello,
Yeah.
you know,
Really, really, really talented people here, and
and
their
they
arts embraced.
that's the key.
Yeah.
It's valued, and it's not, looked at as they all enjoy it and they get something out of it. And it's the same with their music. It's just, I mean,
Dance.
dance, it
Yep.
makes no difference. It's something that somebody is having an opportunity to show their talent, and it's embraced and it's
Sure is.
welcomed, and we love it. That something is just like,
All right, so I got some things here I pulled out. I didn't need them until we got back to Puebla. Now, remember when we first arrived 2 years ago today? Well, we made our journey 2 years
well,
ago today, but that weekend we arrived in Querétaro, and it was elevated, it was dry, and you could tell, you could feel it in the air. And then we were in San Miguel, and then we were in San Luis Potosi, and then we left that region and went closer to sea level in a lot of places.
into Yucatan,
Yeah, well, we went to Veracruz,
Veracruz, and what, again, on the water. Yeah.
and then the Yucatan, and we were elevated in Chiapas, obviously, but not with the dryness. There was still humidity, lots of it.
Yeah.
Now we're back in Puebla, and it's dry.
Yeah, we're back in the central highlands, and you can quickly tell. I mean, it's
My nose bleeds. It's so dry. We had to get the saline for the nose. I mean, it bleeds and then it dries out and then it hurts because it's like all crusty and nasty. Okay. Lip balm, body lotion, and drink plenty of water.
Or cerveza.
It's very dry here. And in addition to the dryness, as I go up and down the stairs, particularly today, because I was going with my drone, I realized that I'm a little out of breath because of the elevation. It's been a while since we have been this elevated and takes some getting used to
Well,
acclimate.
other than that brief little time we spent in San Cristobal, but that was an enjoyable respite out of the travel.
Yeah,
That
we
that
weren't
really
doing anything. We were
that
just
really
sitting
was.
on a
I mean,
porch.
going from an hour away in Tuxtla and it being 96 with 66% humidity and just going, oh, good God. And then going 1 hour away, but yeah, straight up the mountain and going, oh, get the hoodies out, and sitting
cold.
on the and they had great rocking chairs. I mean, these rocking chairs were the bomb. And so
Yeah.
sitting there and just sitting in the forest, rocking, going, there's the hummingbirds. And then, oh, yep, there's the dogs. And okay, it just was, we sort of almost took a month off, you know, just saying, you know.
Anyway, it's been a while since we've been somewhere that's elevated and dry, and I can tell. So I guess this is good preparation for Querétaro, for sure. Um, see, oh, yes, chilies en nogada, semitas, talavera pottery. Yes, churches, mole poblano. Someday I'm going to get that right. We have not gone out to eat yet, but see, the first week we're here, we're only here for 28 days, so 4 weeks. The first week we were here, it was sort of like get acclimated to the place, settle in, move our things into the accommodations,
Go shopping to get our
get our
groceries.
groceries. You know, it's just the
normal.
The whole
First week, every time we get someplace, it's okay. We gotta acclimate ourselves to the location, the house, damn near break my toe because there's a little step out area in the bathroom, a little place to step on, and it sticks out far enough that if you're not paying attention, you can go to stand in front of the toilet and bam, ow, God.
It's a raised wooden platform for when you step out of the shower so that you don't get the floor wet. That's all.
Well, no, so you're not standing on a wet floor.
Well, yeah.
The floor gets wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're going from beautiful high-rise toilets in Oaxaca to potty chairs here. It's just different. I mean, because those were thrones in Oaxaca. I mean, they actually had built up concrete underneath there to raise the height of the toilet. And it was like, oh man, this is great. Did you get older? Because and now we're going to the other extreme.
Yeah, but now they're like squatty. It's like having a squatty.
I know
potty.
It's like going to a
It's got a little squatty potty type thing. It's supposed to be better for you that way anyway. Okay, so the first week is
like us. They want to hear about our toilets.
The first week is us moving in and getting settled. So we are currently in week number 2. I worked on video last night till about 2 a.m. And the rest of this week, we're going to try to get out and try some food. We have some people to meet.
Yep.
Breakfast, dinner. And I want to go see some of these churches. I want to go see the tunnels in Puebla.
Well, we're going to Cholula, and
we're going to go to Cholula and try to say it. Go ahead. I can't say it.
Atilsko.
We'll get somebody to tell us how to say
it. Somebody out there is sitting there going, God, you are butchering that.
We are butchering it. We know it. Somebody will tell us how to say it correctly. But yeah, there's a couple of communities nearby that we absolutely have to see. We're thinking about possibly going to do the African safari thing. And there was a place, I don't know if we're going to make it or not. It was that Scotsman's castle on the water,
Yeah,
Chwatla or something like that.
where an expat came over from there and built his hacienda Scottish style.
Something. Yeah, I don't know. But there's a bunch of stuff. And of course, the food. Absolutely have to do the food. And I love chilies en nogada so much. Very much so.
I just hope we're not disappointed after Oaxaca. I'm just, you know,
No. You have to try the semitas. Yes. El As de Gordos are the best in town. Mercado de Sabores. And we have to visit the mercados for sure. So we have 2.5 weeks to get all this done now before we have to pack it in and head to Querétaro. And I'm telling you now, if I had known how amazing Puebla was, I would have thought about staying here longer. This is kind of like how I was with San Luis Potosí.
well,
We didn't know. I like Puebla a lot. A lot.
I mean, it's one of those where we do our research and we get a feel, and sometimes we've been right and sometimes we've been wrong. I mean, you know, we went into El Tejar going, this is just going to be a break, and you know, we were sort of going, it's going to be a little break, and
It's kind of like halfway. It's
yeah,
like a halfway
we were
drive.
like, okay. And then we get there and get adopted, and it's like, holy crap, this is great. I mean, so
Yeah, you just never know what's going to
you
happen.
never quite get it.
No. And hello, Tom.
Hola, mi amigo.
Thank you. Super congratulations for 2 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you also said you renewed your passport. Getting it on Friday, go another 10 years. Yes. Very, very cool.
Well, Fredo got one up there. There.
Yes. I was just sorry. 2 YouTubers moving this Mexico City. Okay. Well, where are they now? If they're moving to Mexico City, where are they now?
I'm trying to figure out what Estonian is. I went to high school.
Estonian.
Oh, it could be Estonian. I mean, I went to school with some Estonians.
Atlisco.
Atlisco. See, I knew somebody out there would.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Thank you. Because we were ruining it. We were tearing it up.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No. Here we go. You have to visit La Capilla del Rosario, one of the most beautiful church chapels in the world. Okay, so I have to look that up. I always do the churches. I do the churches. I do all the churches. He just sort of sits outside while I do the church. Because he might burst into flames if he crosses the threshold.
That's not the case. She keeps trying to pass that off, and there are some people who believe that. But
no.
You know, well, I don't know. I'm thinking that Mark and Paulette. That Mark was like, really, you don't go into the churches, but with me, it is something that I find to me, I find it uncomfortable because I feel like I'm intruding upon somebody's time in celebrating their religion, and I'm walking around like some idiot, gawking all around, going, "Oh wow, look at this!" And so, to me, it's disrespectful, and that's my take on it. So she likes going in. So
I go in respectfully.
I know you do.
You know, if they're not having a service, I basically take the temperature of the room, so to speak. Are they praying? Is there chanting? Is somebody singing? If any of those things are happening, I don't whip out my camera and start going, ooh, I don't do that.
No.
But if they've got other people in there, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go into the church and I'll just sit in the pew for a little bit and just observe. And if it's good, then I get up and I take a few pictures and I leave. One time, in one of the places in the Yucatan, I went in as a woman wearing a hat, and I didn't remove my hat. And there was a attendant or someone who came running to the front of the church to ask me to remove my hat. I mean, typically women don't remove their hats, but yeah, you do whatever you got to do to comply
I mean,
to the.
I didn't burst into flames in Xena Catan when you were going, Mark, Mark, because I had the money in my pocket and they wanted a donation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I walked in and I'm still here.
Ooh, more definitions. I'm going to find all these churches. I love doing the churches. So, at Leaksco,
At least go.
at Leaks, at Leaksco.
Okay.
It's rough. At Leaksco. Okay.
And that's not far away. I mean, it's only, I think, 20 minutes away from us.
Here's another way of saying it. At Leaksco. At Leaksco. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lambden.
And Cindy.
Yes, and Cindy.
It's because we do this a lot. We butcher it really badly. Yes.
You know, I don't know if you're going to find a church that's going to match the beauty of the
we've
one
got
in
the Puebla Cathedral literally two
Well,
streets away.
Santo Domingo with all the gold.
Oh, guys. Ooh,
I mean-
he just finally today, because I was doing the video edits, he finally got to see what the inside of Santo Domingo in Oaxaca looked like. I've never seen a church with so much gold. It was insane.
Well, I got to see part of it when we did the museum next door to it, and they had that part that was right next door to it, and they had all the gold leaf up there and everything else. So,
But it's not like the church. Oh my! But you're right. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of gold in that.
but
church.
I was in the museum and not intruding upon somebody's. So, yeah, got to see it.
Sure,
So,
sure. But I'm gonna go over here. It's right that way. I'm gonna go check out that cathedral.
it's literally only 3 blocks. We're 3 blocks away, 1 over and 2 down, and we're there. So,
Yeah.
it's very, very close.
Let's see. Okay, so Wilfredo, they are in Estonia right now. Okay. Cool beans. I think we just picked up our son. First day of work here in Mexico. That's really cool.
Well, for Albert's first day of work?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Good for Albert. They have 1.3 million subscribers and they're getting married. They got from 300,000 followers to 1.3 million in 1 year. I wish I knew what the secret to that is. There's like some kind of secret special thing that happens for certain people that can do that. We've been doing this for 2 years and we're not even to 4,000 yet. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just perplexed as to what the secret formula is for growth like that, because I think we do pretty good videos.
Wow. We do what we want to do.
We do what we want to do.
And
yeah.
You know, if we wanted to stoke the fires and go, you know, Trump Harris, well, okay, you know, that seems to just drive up numbers in a stupid way. But then all you get are people who are angry one way or angry the other way, coming on and leaving their comment. I mean, we found that out just about the one about, 10 days ago where we went, this is why we left the U.S. And we got some that YouTube wouldn't even post. I mean, it was like,
that's true. YouTube filtered and blocked some of the comments. But, in general, though, some people, their channels just take off.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the magic is. I just don't know what it is. But, I tried.
But 5 weeks ago, we were doing this and we were celebrating the fact that we were at 3,000 subscribers and now we're over 3,800. So we've done 800 subscribers in 5 weeks, which thank you. That's
yes.
So it grows the way it's going to grow. And
it
that's
grows the way it grows. And we want to do
and
things.
if we were looking to get subscribers and money, we could do this a whole different way. you know,
Yeah.
but we would rather this be a community.
Yep.
And, you know, there are people on here that have been with us. I mean, you know, Tom and Jack and Cindy and Lisa and I probably shouldn't have done this because now some people are gonna go, I've been here since that one video that you did way back then.
Yeah.
You know, but have been around since we started that first one with Ernie. And so you guys are not just, you know, subscribers to us, you're friends with us.
Yeah.
And that's what's more important to us.
And it's more important for us to be true to ourselves, to do things that we are interested in, and hope that people might be also interested in them. And do I think we're ever going to have 100,000 subscribers? Yeah, probably not. I think we'd be lucky if we had 10,000 subscribers.
See, I knew as soon as I started naming names, I'm sitting here going, duh, Annie, Vet, and Arlene,
okay,
Terry and Lisa. I mean, it's like
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, and we're okay with that. You know, we're not making an income off of YouTube. We did have somebody basically accuse us more or less of generating income from clickbait type content, such as the one we just recently released. Yeah. And I had to break the numbers down and never heard back from them again. Basically, what it came down to is I put between 20 and 30 hours in every video that we do. And when you break down the average income that the videos generate from ads, I make 66 cents an hour. And then that doesn't pay for all the tools that I use to make the videos.
No.
So we have subscriptions to the editing software
and the music,
you know, potential stock footage.
It goes on and on.
There's lots of stuff. And this streaming service right here.
It's more of us being or having a desire to communicate with all of you and have that be a community more than you guys are a revenue stream for us. No. We like it. We're all friends in this, and that's like that's the most important thing we get out of this.
Everyone helps each other out on here.
You know, if we just like we couldn't say it at Leaksco, you know, hey, you guys helped us out there. And so it's like, okay, you know.
But I'm not going to lie and say that it doesn't perplex me how people can have a channel for a few months and have thousands of subscribers already. Like, how does that even happen? I don't understand.
They hit the magic button at the right time, right spot. And you know, we've had some videos that have for us blown up and you know, for us gone viral. We're still haven't had one that's hit 100,000 yet, but you know what? That's not what it's about. But so and even those we sit there and go, all right, what did we do? You know, because
what happened here?
What happened? I mean, and what we're finding is you know, most of the ones that do garner lots of views tend to be something that we hit at the right time with the right, you know, the Tulum airport. We dropped that the day that Tulum airport opened, and it got 42,000 views. You know,
South Dakota one happened right around
South Dakota happened. Yeah. Again, that's got, I don't know, 14,000 views. So it timing on things that have got people passionate, you know, either upset, whatever, those tend to get a lot of the clicks. But, you know, overall, we're not sitting around going, all right, what can we do? What's everybody hot about right now? You know, it's more we're doing us, and that's all y'all gonna get. You know, is us.
It's true. And let's see, right here. Okay, Andy. I lived in Cholula in 2023. It's great, not too big. College town, magic town, plus the pyramid and endless restaurants. Plan on a full day. Okay, good. So it'll be a full day trip to Cholula and a full day trip to At
At least go.
Atletsko.
Well, and the best part about that is I mean, we've already driven here at night, which
That
we-
wasn't planned.
that wasn't planned. That was, you
Oh,
know,
we should tell the story about what happened there. Oh gosh. Okay. We should have gotten here from Oaxaca in about 4.5 hours.
we left Oaxaca at between 9:30 and 10.
We
And
should have been here before 3.
yeah, that was
That was just a given. We would have been here before 3. But we got stuck on the highway coming here. We were on that highway for three and a half hours.
well, we went
4.
2.5 miles in 3 hours.
Yeah. So what happened, as I found out later, either the next day or the day after, is there was a tractor trailer truck making its way toward Mexico City on the other side of the highway. It lost its brakes. It rear-ended a pickup truck that was carrying a load full of construction workers in the back. The construction workers got tossed out all over the highway. One died before anybody got there, and the other one died on the way to the hospital. And then there were obviously others that were injured. The tractor trailer then also went on to collide into a gas truck, a gas tanker that was hauling propane. Because it was a propane truck, the environmental authorities here shut down the highway and had to do extra protocols. So it wasn't just a crash site with fatalities, it was also a gas leak. So that highway that we came in on and we were stuck on was shut down for hours. Hours.
We hit the slowdown 19 kilometers from the condo.
And the accident was only a few miles away from here.
Yeah.
So it was backed up for more than 15 miles already by the time we hit it.
It was like, oh.
And we don't know the area well enough to know of any diversion.
And then the worst part is we try to avoid driving at night if we can help it. And now we're hitting a new city that we have never been in before after dark.
Yeah.
And we all know the GPS down here is not exactly the most reliable or timely. It sometimes will send you to the right place, but it has a long time telling you. And then by the time it spits it out, you are past where you were supposed to have turned. So yeah, we had a fun time that night getting here. And so then now it's after dark and we get here and we're going, we got to unload the roof bag. And
well, fortunately, this building has an elevator. It has secured parking on the ground floor. And we just unloaded the roof bag, basically, the first night.
Halfway. We took our suitcases out of the back of the car, and then the stuff that we didn't need from the roof bag replaced the suitcases and went into the back and closed it, took the roof bag off and locked it up and went, we're done.
We're done for the night.
We're done.
And then the next day we got just a few things out. Everything else we left in the car. We don't need to bring everything in for a 4-week stay.
Nope.
No.
Used to be we did, but now it's like, no.
No.
We can survive 4 weeks without that.
No. And you know, the interesting thing is even though we have an elevator here and we know that there are people in this building because we see their vehicles in the garage, we don't hear hardly anyone. It's pretty quiet.
No, and I mean, in this building is actually, it is motion detection for the lights coming on. So if we step out into the hallway, it's dark. Then as soon as we step out, then the lights come on, and it only comes on in our section. And then as you go down, they start coming on further you walk, and it's like.
And for some reason, I think of horror movies where the lights come on and then they go out.
No.
And then I don't know, but I like it. It's a nice building. Oh, I think I missed one. Hey, hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
2 more days.
And hello, Lisa.
2 more days. All right.
Oh, girl, that's getting close. Because you
And
guys are going to be in Puerto Vallarta in January, if I remember right,
yeah.
making the move.
And Cholula is a Pueblo Mágico,
Yep.
about 30 minutes from Puebla. Very cool. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Jenny,
Hola, Jenny.
you all do make very good videos, content and quality. I wonder if the market is too saturated. Keep at it. Oh, thank you. And no, I'm not going to stop. I'm not,
No.
there may come a time I may have to slow down if I'm working. I mean, like I said, I'm putting 20 to 30 hours in for a video. And if I'm working, that might get hard to keep up with. But I enjoy doing it, and I'm getting better at the software.
Duh.
Yeah.
But also we look at it this way as well. We have grandchildren, and someday they're going to be able to go, hey, there's Gigi and Pop Up. So, pap, whatever,
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna quit.
No,
We're resigned to the fact that we like making the type of videos that we would want to watch, and if other people want to watch them too, that's great. Doug, the Capilla del Rosario has a lot of intricate gold work, the most by far that I've seen. Ooh, the main cathedral is also very impressive. Okay, looking forward to it.
Got her hooked now.
Gold. I like the feel of gold on my body.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I could.
You William Devane.
William Devane. It just.
Yeah, I think I'll sleep on the couch tonight if you're going to be William Devane.
Liking and subscribing is free and helps Mark and Gina's wonderful community. Thank you. Thank you, Landon. Let's see. Papa, it's been a long 5 years and money invested in many hours, days, weeks, time investment to get my channel on a paying basis. It is not easy. No, it's not. What is the magic, though? Some people just have that magic, whatever that extra spice is that they have that just makes their channel blow up.
Or they hit the, I mean,
I don't know.
You look at the early people who took advantage of Mexico.
I guess.
Tangerine Travels, Jordan and Maddie were some of the very first to start doing it down here as far as Gringos coming down and traveling. And the other part of that I think made a huge difference, they were young. And they attracted a younger crowd. Not to say all of you are old, but I'm just it's we tend to gravitate more, and the younger generation, they live on this platform. And I didn't even know anything about YouTube until you started watching videos of Jordan and Maddie and Why Not Now and
Kinetic Connections and Rick Rack
Travels.
I was watching everybody. Q
RuPaul.
Watuco. Cindy and Fred. Yeah.
And Country Collectors.
Yep. Are you guys going to the meet and greet? Yeah, we are. We're the organizers.
We're the hey, this was my idea.
Yeah, we're the organizers. We're working with Ernie.
Yeah,
Ernie's on site, so he has more.
Yeah, I contacted Ernie and was like, hey, we've wanted to do, and both him and us have wanted to get back together because it's been, oh God, by the time January 25th rolls around, it'll be almost 3 years since we did the first interview with him, because that was in late March of 2022. So we've been wanting to sort of do a follow-up, and so we were sort of working on it. And then I was like, well, hold on, why don't we just sort of, and I have to give Stephanie on here credit as well, because she was like, she was going to be in San Miguel and it'd be nice to get to meet everybody. And I sort of went, let's put all this together. And so it started out as being, Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, and Gringos Are Us. And then Gina had the idea of going, well, let's invite Mark and Paulette and see if they want to come down. And then it was
Mariana from Mexico Relocation Guide, Karen from La Karencita,
Truly Fabulous Life,
Truly Remarkable
Life.
Luisa and Michael from Retired Life Mexico. There's a bunch of people.
And then, Sean from Sean in Paradise was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna be on vacation and back in the States."
Yeah.
Which we know means he's gonna be in California surfing. But he was like, "Man, I would love to be up there for that." And
there's a few people who can't make it because of the timing.
somebody's going to be in Europe at the time, and
Travis from originally Cafe Con Leche.
Yeah.
Travis is in Spain, so he will not be able to make it.
And Brighton has got from
He's
almost retired in Mexico. He's going to actually be in Querétaro a little earlier than that, and then he's going to be back. So he's going to be in La Paz for it. So he couldn't see making two separate trips. But
I'm still inviting people. I invited backpacking brunette, but I didn't hear back from her yet.
But Karencita
I did hear from La Karencita, but I'm awaiting her WhatsApp information so I can add her. We have a group of people who are YouTube creators who are definitely participating, and we're making a WhatsApp group just for the creators to communicate with each other. So I'm waiting on some people's phone numbers so that I can add them to that group. But yeah, it's at least 6 or 7 creators and growing.
Yeah, and so what the number ends up being, we don't know, but we want to get it out there for all of you as early as possible. So if you had to make travel arrangements, or start blocking time off, then you could do that.
And we're not sure how far San Miguel is from Puerto Vallarta.
About 8 hours driving time.
Yeah. Is only 8?
Yeah.
I thought it was like...
No, Ernie started out at 4, and then somebody on his live the other night, and then somebody actually looked it up on Google Maps and got the directions. And yeah, it's about an 8-hour drive. Because I was sitting here going, 4? No, it's
longer than that.
Yeah.
Puebla is where the battle that is celebrated on Cinco de Mayo took place. There is a big fort, museum, park, etc. Yes. And I want to go through the tunnels. I don't think he wants to, but I do. Tunnels. Arlene, we love your videos and your live videos. Thank you. And I think the couple whose channel has grown so fast does their videos in Spanish. So a different audience, perhaps.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we can honestly say that we have seen a tremendous uptick.
We have.
In the number of Mexican people that have started to subscribe.
Yeah.
And part of that is because of, we've been in 15 cities and we've made a lot of friends, but even so, it's just been...
Now, part of that is that I translate the captions, the description, and the titles into about 15 different languages, Spanish being one of them. We've gained some viewers as of late in places I never thought we would. Russia, Turkey,
Malaysia, Thailand.
Just a few places I didn't expect. So the channel has grown in that respect, but the predominant audience is still very much English speaking with Spanish
subtitles
in second place. Yeah.
Yeah, because number 1 is obviously the U.S. Number 2 is Canada. Number 3 is Mexico, and that's pretty much the way it's broken down. And best part,
David, 135D was backed up ways for hours both ways. Yeah. I had friends heading from Puebla or Orizaba down to Oaxaca. By the way, it was 43 last night where I live in Ensenada. Big blankets and cuddling kitty. Yes. And we were heading into Puebla, and the accident actually happened on the other side of the highway going in the other direction. And yeah, they had the whole highway shut down for hours. There were people that literally were just parking their cars and getting out and standing around and walking around on the road. Like, we really didn't move for a long time.
No. Just glad to say that. No, I'm not even going to go there. Anyway.
Yeah. Bob, Gina, you never have to justify anything to people who have never done anything creative. Well, that's thank you. No, I do take offense if somebody calls us out as trying to cash in uh, on these videos. And I don't think they realize what it takes. I think that they need to be schooled on what it actually takes to
Mhm.
do these videos. I mean, it takes your time. There's a process of organizing it, putting it all together. Then you do it. Then you edit it, and there's a lot that goes into the editing. You know, silly little words going across the screen, or the music and things like that. All that stuff takes time and often takes money. Not always. Some people are able to get by and do really great videos with free assets, free software. Mine isn't free. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro and I have a subscription and it's not cheap. And I do have different memberships for music. Not every, I have a few music membership sites because they don't all carry the same type of music. And there are a couple that I'm thinking about letting go because I find myself not using them as much. I do have a stock video site that I do utilize occasionally when it's dealing with a video, a drone type shot that I'm not allowed to get because by law, you can't fly a drone over an archaeological site, for example. So if I can find some drone footage over an archaeological site, I've got a site for that. And all that stuff adds up, you know. And then again, the streaming service, none of these things are free. There's a membership for this application that we use to do our live streams. So when somebody says we're just doing it for money, when we tell them that we are lucky to see $150 a month, think about that, $150 a month, and we probably spend 160 or 180 in the tools needed to make the videos. So nobody's getting rich here.
No.
Not at all. Just saying. And I'm not complaining. I just feel like people need to understand sometimes that the only people that are making money is YouTube. Unless you happen to be some a
Or
really
Mr. Beast
or a really big creator with a lot of subscribers and a lot of views.
or
It's
Joe Rogan.
it's not even the subscribers, it's the
Uh-uh.
views.
Uh-huh.
Subscribers are great, but it's the views. The
Mhm.
views are what make the ad money. And plus they have like sponsorships and stuff like that, which we don't have. So, you know, the bigger you get, the more money you make. It's kind of exponential. Anyway, hey, yeah, haters will hate and be jealous. It's true. It's
You
true.
know, it and
People who are unhappy love to make other people just as unhappy as them.
they don't want to change. They just want to make sure everybody else is as miserable as they are. And you know what? If that's the case, please don't come to Mexico because the people down here, they are so happy and so joyous and so warm that that just it becomes contagious.
Yep.
And we really don't want the gringos down here who give us the bad names because you know some of the comments that we got on the one about why we moved to Mexico 10 days ago were from some Mexican citizens who are, you know, most of them, 99% of them were thank you for you know embracing our culture. Welcome to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We are glad to have people who want to embrace this wonderful culture, you know, and thank you. And we had some that were, you know, take your ass home. And some were not even fit for publishing because ass would have been very tame compared to some of the language. But we also got some from the other side of the border going, you know, hey, move down there. You know, if you don't want to stay up here and help make this country better, you know what? We hope and pray that the U.S. gets their shit together and all this divisiveness goes away. But that's what we were fleeing was the anger. And it wasn't an anger coming from this side or an anger coming from that side. It was an anger coming from everywhere. Everybody was just mad. And you come down here and it's just so so
And we feel real good.
yeah.
Peppa, I'm looking at flights to Querétaro for a time of meet and greet. Okay. That's awesome.
That'd be great.
So
That'd be another.
Yeah. So we'll add you. I'll get in touch with you. I'll need to get your number for WhatsApp and I can add you to the group if you're sure you're going to come. We're only adding people who are sure they want to participate just so the group doesn't get too crazy.
Hey, Papa, reach out to us at gringosorus.com on the contact us and give us the information there. And then we can go from there.
Yeah. Sounds like a party. So jealous. Well, we don't know. We don't know how it's
We're
going
to see how this turns out.
We're winging it. We're winging it. Hopefully, I mean, being this is the first time we've done this, we're hoping it turns out really well and we can do it again. For sure. Dave, for those that live here, yes, it gets chilly in high altitudes. Electric blankets are great. Oh, yeah. And the little electric space heaters just to take the edge off in the morning aren't too bad either. Oh, Alejandro, hi, I'm watching you from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Puebla State. Best wishes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alejandro, we love Puebla.
Yes.
Puebla is awesome. We love it here. Good gosh.
It was a very scenic drive coming from Oaxaca.
Yes.
Of course, part of it we got to see more than we wanted to because we only went 2.5 miles in 3 hours. I mean, we got, when it takes you an hour to go from one end of the OXXO parking lot to the other, that's like, oh. But,
yeah.
But welcome, Alejandro. We appreciate it.
And, I've been sending pictures of Popo to our youngest daughter. And she's like, nope, it's a volcano. Nope. But it's so beautiful here.
Yes.
It really is. And I really like this city, the city vibe here. I mean, we had a meeting last night. Was it yesterday? The Zoom call with your mom.
Last night.
Yeah. And we were trying to describe
Sunday night.
What it's like here. I said, it's, you hear horns honking. You hear the buses running. It's city traffic. Mm-hmm. It sounds like city traffic. There's helicopters and, sirens occasionally, but it's not like Manhattan or Chicago or even Pittsburgh. It's not like that. You can go out and walk on the streets and it's scenic and it's easygoing. You can hear the sounds, but it doesn't feel like that.
No, and I think after 2 years of being in Mexico, we've also started to tune out a lot of what would annoy us in the U.S. Now we just sort of go, it's Mexico. Fireworks, the barking dog, it is what it is.
Laura, one of the reasons you attract me to your videos is the fact that you're both so positive, respectful, and open to learning. You would be great neighbors anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's all we strive to be. We just strive to be good people who treat people the way we would like to be treated. Yeah.
We ain't going to ask who you voted for because we don't care.
But we do both love history.
Yes.
And we love experimenting, exploring, and I'm more adventurous with the food, but I got to give this guy kudos. He did try one chapulín. One.
Well, that's the girl. We were having if you guys didn't see the video, it's in the Mercados and food one on Oaxaca. And yeah, that was, she was good. We were having a good conversation, and those are the types of environments that are good for me to practice my Spanish. And and she was having a good time with it. And so it was like, you know what? It's one bug. Would I have preferred to have had a beer in front of it and a beer to chase it down? Probably. Yeah. And then after it was done, it was like, I need a Coke badly.
He didn't take the legs off. He ate it with the legs. I can't eat the legs.
All I want to do is get it down.
Ah, hola. Hola, preguntale. How are you?
Preguntale a Pavel.
Preguntale. Did I say that right? I'm trying.
Preguntale.
Preguntale.
The accents in the U.
That's right.
Preguntale.
Thank you for joining us
Yes.
tonight. Yes. Hey, Chris. Good news. My local is letting us retire at 60 now.
Boom.
All right. 15 months until I retire. Yay.
So that means you got to start putting the pedal to the metal about making the progress.
Yes.
And speaking of progress, one of our subscribers and friends, Rick, sent me the screenshot of the anticipated 2025 financials. And it ain't pretty.
Yeah, well.
I'm just saying, the number was, if memory serves me right, $4,924 a month.
Man, I don't even know anybody who makes that much net take home pay. So
So
I don't.
that's
harsh.
That's harsh. And when you think about it, when we did it in 2022, it was 24 and change, if memory serves me right.
Something like
So
that. It's doubled.
It's doubled in 3 years.
Yeah. Armando wants to know what your favorite Mexican beer is. Well, it's going to be Corona. It's going to be Corona because he's always drunk Corona.
Well, yeah, but down here, Carta Blanca.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't that the cheap stuff?
I don't know if it's the cheap stuff or not. That was that. And I only stumbled into it because when she had to go back to the States when we were in San Luis Potosí, I went to a place. And honestly, I cannot make this up. The name of the place was called Meatballs and Wings. I mean, I'm by myself. I'm going, all right, you know what? I'm going to go down, get me some wings, have a couple beers, grab a churro, and then go back to the apartment. And it was get in there, and I go, una cerveza, por favor. No. And so I looked around the room, and everybody was drinking Carta Blanca. And so I went, Carta Blanca, por favor. And very good beer. Had Victoria, had Bohemia. But yeah, I'd have to say the Carta Blanca was probably my favorite so far, other than Corona.
Terry, how good was that pie you made? Hopefully it tasted as good as it looked. Well, Terry, that was the very first from scratch pie crust that I've ever made.
The crust was outstanding.
The crust was it had a very good flavor, but it was too thick. And being in my first crust, I know now that I need to roll it out even thinner. It would have been even better and flakier if I had done so. The pie filling was canned blueberry filling with not a whole lot of whole blueberries in it. It was okay. We don't always find fresh blueberries here. Occasionally we do. When we get to Querétaro, we'll probably hit up the Costco or something and get a big old thing of blueberries. But, I could make that pie crust again, and I'll just roll it thinner, and I'll make an apple pie from scratch. I'll just slice the apples and throw in the cinnamon and the sugar and the butter, and it'll be fine. I could even take that pie crust and make apple dumplings with it. And one of the things that got brought up, our friend Cesar in Querétaro brought this up. And Annie and Arlene, are you listening? He wants to know how to make biscuits. I think he probably meant English muffins, but he said biscuits. The reason I say English muffins is some of you know and some of you may not know that I've been making sourdough English muffins since long before COVID. I started making loaves of bread, and then I got into making English muffins with the discard starter. Well, I laid off the bread for a while, and I just kept making these English muffins. I've gotten really good at making them now.
Yeah.
I brought my starter with us. And I've been making sourdough English muffins in Mexico now for 2 years. And I mean, I just whipped up a batch of like 36 of them yesterday and threw a bunch in the freezer. What I'm thinking about doing is when we're in Querétaro, I'm thinking about having a party over at our townhouse,
Airbnb.
our Airbnb, and kind of having like a cooking class or just a cooking party. And we can make either some of the fancy cookies that I know how to make, like kolaches, or maybe even just regular cookies with royal icing, whatever. Um, how about this? Buttermilk biscuits, um, sourdough English muffins, and we could do pie crust or apple dumplings or something like that. Just have like a baking party.
Yeah.
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 Why not? With some mezcal on the side.
Arlene, we have an upstairs area that we can. Yeah.
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 All right. Ah, Jesus. Saludos desde Guadalajara. Very cool. Very cool. Um, one day, Guadalajara is going to be on our list here.
It is on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Ajijic.
Well, we're basically going to hit Guadalajara whenever we get to Lake Chapala.
Right, and then over and then down to Puerto Vallarta, and then up to Mazatlan, and then over to the peninsula.
I'm looking to see. Oh, this here. This is where I wanted to go. Okay, so now we're going to hit Mark up with his. So, las personas de buena voluntad siempre. You good with this so far? Persons with good, always good. We're trying. Serán bien recibidas bendiciones para ustedes.
Basically, what that is saying is that people with good attitudes, or which would be attitude, but always are met with very well and welcome for them and their relations.
Yes.
So actually, my reading is better than my.
Yes, I know.
Spoken.
I'm the same way.
But yes, you know, we have consistently said that being here in Mexico, the respect and the joy that you give to the people here in Mexico is returned tenfold. If you smile and you have fun with them, it is amazing what you get back. And that part, you know, I know I say this probably just about every time, but it is the God's truth. It is amazing that you know, the fun, the laughter, the joy, you know, and those are things that we didn't hear in the United States anymore. You know, you don't hear people. You think about it. When was the last time you walked into a store in the United States and before you asked for anything, you said, "Good morning" or "Good afternoon"? But you do.
How are you?
How are you? ¿Qué
Yeah.
tal? You know, but here, you know, it's expected and it's a welcome to go, you know, oh, you know, let's have a little conversation before, you know, what aisle is this in? I mean,
yeah.
And so it's just, that is.
Hey, okay, so Chris, we'll be more than fine. Have a pension. My husband has retirement savings. He's retiring a month before me. That's awesome.
Outstanding.
That's awesome, Chris. And Greg. And normally they also want you to be retired to immediately get permanent, which means you're supposed to be able to show that as a guaranteed monthly retirement income.
True.
Yep.
And no, you can't walk in with a letter that just says, "I'm retired, let my ass in." That don't work.
Okay, we're not going there.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember when I was following you early
Yep.
on and going for a move there myself until the Mexican embassy in Atlanta turned me down.
Because she was right outside of
Yep.
Atlanta. Yep.
I researched options, happily in Thailand with retirement visa.
No, we remember you, Ann.
And a
Yeah.
lot of people do go to Thailand.
Yep.
It's never been on my radar to do so. And I don't know. I don't know how we would fare there. What really recently kind of came up on the radar is we had someone comment that they decided that Mexico was getting too expensive and they decided to go retire in Italy.
Yep.
Well,
Well, that same video that got all these
yeah,
responses, we had somebody say they were retiring to Italy. Then we had somebody who commented and said that they, felt the same way and they did just like Ann did and went to
went to
Thailand.
Thailand.
So,
But the one about Italy kind of got me thinking. Before we decided we were going to come to Mexico to explore, I was researching my citizenship for Italy because I qualify through their law as long as you are
so many generations removed.
they do it by blood. And as long as your ancestors were still citizens, you are by blood a citizen. You just have to prove your lineage. And I can do that.
Oh God, could you do that?
And
in spades.
Yeah, and I thought that, well, it'd be really cool, to have that and to be able to have my name, my dad's name, his dad's name, my children's name, my sister's name added to the records in the civil records in the town where we're from, in the commune.
Ripa Candida.
Ripa Candida. So, one of these days, I don't know, maybe if Mexico doesn't work out for us in the long run, you never know. Maybe we'll go explore Italy too. Mexico was a place we chose because it was close to the United States and easy to get to.
That was one of the reasons.
Well, one of them.
The other is the phenomenal people here.
Oh, sure.
I mean that was the part that won me over to go, you know what?
Yeah.
These people down here are not envious of what their neighbors have. They're happy with where they are and they get the most out of their life and they have fun doing it. And we see, kids in parks get a 20 peso toy and they are ecstatic and they are having fun and it's the whole family unit together. And that is what we did not see anymore because, well, you're not taking the whole family out into a group of other people in the U.S., but, they're all out together. And this one will forever be cemented in my brain. And that was when we were in Querétaro, the granddaughter dancing on her grandfather's feet on her, and he's dancing and she's just going along, standing on his feet. And they were having a blast.
I mean, ultimately, the sense of community here, family and community, it really blew us away. But I'm still going to reiterate that because Mexico is very close.
Location.
It's an easy flight. It's a reasonably okay drive. So, as opposed to being in Europe where now the flight's really long and expensive and you can't drive. So
and they ain't finished the bridge yet. No,
but I was working on getting my Italian citizenship, and then our plans changed, and
then COVID hit, and that sort of threw everything.
That threw everything out.
That threw the whole world. And let's be for real. When COVID hit, Italy was the last place you wanted to be. I was in touch with my cousins there, and it was bad, but I never got the sense from them that it was as bad as the media made it sound. But when
it was bad.
But when you do have the world's oldest population, well,
Do you know there's a study out now that linked people with type A blood as being more susceptible to COVID?
Let's not even go head down that road.
No, I just read this study recently. It said, low zinc, low vitamin D, and type A blood. People with goodwill always be well received. Blessings to you all and all your relatives. Thank you. And we agree. If you come with love in your heart, you will receive it in return.
And leave your baggage at the border.
Yes. And the smoking section.
Well, smoking and drinking
It's
section,
the
but yeah,
smoking and drinking
yeah,
section.
yeah.
Yes, we do have a rooftop patio
Yes, we do.
in Querétaro. Um, oh,
I can already see there's a bottle of red wine, a bottle of scotch,
and a bottle of mezcal.
a bottle of mezcal, and a case of beer, and yeah,
Oh gosh, we watched your journey and got our temp residency a year ago in August.
yay!
Excellent. Um, Thanks in large part to following the beginnings of your journey, which, by the way, those beginnings were so awkward. We're only 41 and a ways from retirement.
Well, I mean, and Tom pointed that out, and he was like, I don't want to bust on you, but you guys have really come a long way in putting together your videos.
Well, yeah.
And we go back and look at those videos from the other side of the border.
They're embarrassing.
And we sort of now go, we suck.
They're so awkward. So awkward.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, we thought we were all that. And now we sort of look at it and go, ooh. And I harken back. There was somebody that you were watching when we first were starting to do the channel. And they were like, just do your first 100 videos. They're going to suck. And we were like, nah, we're better than that. No,
I never thought I was better than that. Maybe he did, but no.
But yeah, it was not good.
No, they're very awkward. Hey, Tom. Oh, I've had Gina's sourdough English muffins. Delicious. Oh, Warden said dinner was ready. Awesome. Yeah, and Tom got the ones that were kept in the fridge or the freezer too, so they weren't even super fresh.
No, my favorite thing is I always get the little bastard piece.
Yeah, there's a
one little piece. It just doesn't make a full, and it's like she
doesn't get the pretty cookie cutter ring.
Cuts it in half, puts some zarzamora on it, and it's like marmalada zarzamora, and it's like a little butter. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they're fresh, man, they're so good. Whew. Shane decided since we think we eventually want to land in Mexico, why not get our residency ASAP? No regrets. That's right.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
It doesn't mean you have to move here.
You don't have to be here to get it. You come and get it, and then
whenever the timing is right, you just come on down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unless
and eventually they're going to have to go to the alternate formula. But I got a feeling that right now, with the temperatures running the way they are, and trying to figure out, what's going to happen, because nobody knows right now. And so with all that uncertainty, they're sticking with the formula they've been using. The alternate formula, which is not based on the Mexican minimum wage, would drastically bring down the financial requirements. And that was the one that McAllen was using. McAllen, Texas.
No, they really weren't.
They were using a bastardized version, but they were so much lower. And the problem that McAllen was running into is they were getting overrun. I mean, because everybody found out that, if I didn't qualify here, but I could go to McAllen and they let me in, and McAllen went, whoa, no, we don't want this anymore. So they raised it to what everybody else was. And so now
then they restricted who can come to their office.
Got to be from
now Texas. You got to be from that area where they used to take anybody from any location. Let's see. Oh, hey, Mark, great job on your translation.
Why, thank you.
He's getting very good.
Just wait. Y'all will find out in a couple of weeks, and it'll be like, oh.
If you have a temp visa and you retire, can you get it converted to permanent before the 4 years is up?
No,
I don't think
once
so.
you start down the road of temporary, you have to do if what we have been informed is correct, unless they make a change. Once you start down the road of temporary, you are obligated to go the 4 years. Now,
even with the regularization program, they automatically get 4 years of temp. Yeah.
But so and it's not that big of a deal, really, Jesse, because when we went to Progresso to do the renewal, we used a great facilitator, and he was able to get us all set up. We walked in and went bing, bang, boom, done,
Yep.
paid, out of there. And the biggest issue we encountered was that um, we got a notification that we had the same charge twice for the same exact same amount within 5 minutes of it, because they wouldn't ring it up individual or as a joint. They rang it up as mine, then they rang it up as hers, and of course exactly the same amount.
Yeah.
And it was, sign, doom, boom, 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 sign, firma, firma, key, firma, key, firma, key. See, stuck the card in, boom, kept the card in my hand, and they gave it to her, firma, key, firma, key, firma, key, tarjeta, boom, so yeah. And they were like, is this legitimate that you did two of the same exact amount within 5 minutes? Yes, it was. Okay. That was the only, we did see somebody who did encounter a problem with their credit card.
Yeah. Did anybody ever tell you growing up that you had like hyper attention deficit or something?
No, they never did.
I mean, you just blew my mind there for a minute.
Not me. No. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm so fortunate that many of the employees and members of my gym are from Latin America, so able to speak Spanish every day. It's a blessing. Awesome.
Are there anybody from Germany? I mean, because Tom speaks German.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Whoa, I'm skipping people. I don't mean to. Hold on. Okay. The point was, as you mentioned, to escape the USA negativity and expense. Yes, that is true, and it was multiple reasons. It's multifaceted, but we weren't broke yet, but we knew eventually we would be. So we were looking at that in the long view. But the immediate view was we were unhappy. We were so unhappy. And I didn't like my job, and the news cycle was just on all the time, and people were just very negative, and they're still very negative. I've limited the amount of time that I spent these days on social media as much as I can. It's horrible to see the name calling, the categorization of people and stuff who don't think like you, for example, and all of that was just constantly hitting you on the head. It just makes you feel bad. It makes you stressed out, tired, and can even make you angry, and nobody wants to feel like that. So yeah, a lot of it was the negativity.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
The negativity.
Yeah. See, yes, get the Italian passport. I was working on it, and then things got sidetracked. Part of the process of doing that is to have official documents for births, marriages, etc., and they have to be apostilled and all that. It's probably a little hard right now for me to justify the cost and and fandangle that, and then I have to take all those things, schedule an appointment at an Italian consulate, and show up in person, documents in hand, to do that process. Now, I haven't even looked yet to see where the Italian consulates are in Mexico.
Well, one adventure at a time.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just like it's when eventually I want to do that. And yeah, I think it would be really cool to have our names added to the list of records at the commune in our ancestral town.
Yeah.
Our little goat path town. Hola, Laura, catching up. All right. Glad you're here. And see, yes, you can still buy a house, a fixer upper in many parts of Italy for €1 because they need residents and citizens in their smaller towns. Love Mexico, but spent 9 months in Italy. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a back pocket thing. If it would be a whole lot easier to do that if you're an Italian citizen, would it not?
Oh, absolutely.
And I've got the gateway to be an Italian citizen
Well, I mean,
anytime I want it.
it's similar to what, you know. Let's just say that we decided we wanted to pick a town, Huatuco.
Yeah.
If we wanted to buy a house in Huatuco, okay, we'd have to have it go through all the legal part of having putting a trust and this and that, because we're not Mexican citizens.
Right.
Whereas in Italy, because of you having an Italian passport and being an Italian citizen, if those types of laws are in effect, we would not have to play that game.
Right.
So, you know,
that's just us talking.
Yeah.
We're
we're in Mexico.
hyperbole.
We're in Mexico now for the next 2 years. So
we're in Mexico. Yeah, we're exploring our options here in Mexico. That doesn't mean that we're going to go to Italy. It's just one of those things that I don't know.
It's on a wish list.
It's on a wish list to, at minimum, at least visit it.
Yes.
To get the citizenship, get our names in the commune, and visit my cousins that I've never met, that I didn't even know existed 15 years ago. So, it's cool. Hey, hey. I guess you're talking to Shane. Yes, getting visas renewed. Let's see here. Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hey,
Happy
Linda.
2nd year anniversary. Yay. My husband just got his dual citizenship, going to work online now. Love your channel. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. And congratulations to your husband. Yeah. And Laura, I'm still going to Mazatlan for the same reasons you guys mentioned. I have residente permanente. I'm trying to say it right. And I just have to do the downsize. Oh gosh.
Uh-huh.
The struggle is real. It's hard. It's hard. It
depends upon personality.
It depends on the personality, and
Mhm.
if you get really attached to certain things, you're like, oh, but this means something to me. I have a memory attached to this. But then the way Mark looked at it is he always has those memories. It's just a thing.
And if my memory goes, the thing isn't going to bring the memory back.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. Talking about memories and things that we don't even use anymore, and it was packed away in a box somewhere in the dark, growing mold and things like that. Both of our Letterman jackets.
And we kept them both.
And we both kept them. We kept our Letterman jackets from high school, and they are safely in the possession of our youngest daughter, who absolutely insisted that we not get rid of them. She was going to hold on to them. So.
Yes. But the easiest way, Laura, and this worked out very well, when you get a dumpster for 3 days and you park it in the driveway, day one, your tentative is there's always the things you go, yeah, this is going to go, this is going to go, this is going to go, this is going to go. Those are the easy ones. Then you have the, oh, hell no, this is being kept. It's the ones that are, that I'm not sure, Day one, you don't even touch them. You fill the dumpster with all the stuff it's immediately going to go. It's amazing as you start throwing things in the dumpster, how much easier it got. And by day 3, she was even starting to get into the, oh, hell no, throw it in the dumpster.
I know. It's just entire boxes. I wasn't even opening them.
Day one, just concentrate on all the things that are going to go. That's all you want to worry about. I'm not keeping, we all know that there's stuff, you donate the books to the library. If there's DVDs and CDs and stuff like that, if you've got a streaming service, you rip them, you back them up to a hard drive, they're gone. I mean, they're digital media anyway. The vinyl records, different story, but.
Oh, speaking of vinyl records.
Not everybody here.
Vinyl records. Today is the 50th anniversary of Genesis, the Lamb lies down on Broadway. And they're coming out with a special edition, 5 vinyl records, and a 65-page coffee table book, poster, and other stuff. That's my Christmas wish list. On Broadway. Annie, sourdough English muffins. Yes, are delicious. Yes, they are so good. We're gonna have a day where we just all come over to Gina's and we make muffins and biscuits and cookies. Oh my. For your information, Mexican immigration law, Section 2, Article 54, Clause 3, basically says that if you can prove you have supported yourself while living in Mexico doing border runs, that you may be granted. Yeah, you can. Isn't that? I thought that was the regularization program.
I think so.
I think, yeah, the regularization program, and we know people who actually have gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
They literally overstayed their tourist visa, and they did a real quick border run. I think it was it Belize or Guatemala?
They went to Belize.
They went to Belize.
Yep.
Literally went across the border and came right back again. Got a 7-day.
They greased a little palm to get what they wanted on both sides of the border.
Yeah.
On the Belize and the Mexican side. And
they got a 7-day tourist. On day 8, they were at the INM getting their 4 years of temporary residency based on the regularization program.
mm-hmm.
You got to pay a fine because by law you have overstayed your tourist visa.
You are now irregular, as they refer to it in Mexico.
Yeah, and they don't check your income.
Nope.
There's no income requirement for it. So I think that might be what you're talking about here. Okay. Gina can be at the Cathedral. Well, Mark can be across the street and check out the public library, Biblioteca Palafoxiana. I think I said that right. Wow. No, but Gina's going to want to go to the Biblioteca as well.
Mark will sit outside and wait so we can both go to the Biblioteca.
We both want to go do those things. We really like history a lot. And pretty much the only time Mark does not partake is if it means crawling down into a hole, like the mines,
or up,
or elevation. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't like heights, and he doesn't like climbing down into enclosed areas. So he's a little iffy on the tunnels here. Although I believe the tunnels are really big.
Ain't iffy.
But the tunnels are big here. They're really big.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Not iffy.
But he wouldn't go down into the mines in Mineral de Pozos at all. So, so heights and holes are out. And he typically doesn't go into the churches. I think everything else, though, we're pretty much both on the same. He won't do swinging bridges. He won't do zip lining.
Heights,
yeah. So, and happy 2nd year anniversary in Mexico! Yay! Love you.
We did that one.
I thought I already say what?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's right. You did. How did we get past that again?
I don't know.
Was it posted twice?
I don't know.
It sure feels like it is. I don't know. I'm confused now. It seems like some of these things are posted twice.
Yeah, Terry's on the.
I know, but I'm just.
No, that's a new one on the dumpster.
Okay. Just see. No. I think it got posted twice. I'm so sorry. How long did it take you to detox from the negativity? Oh gosh.
24 hours. Honest to God. I mean, the drive across the border, Jesse, was stressful.
It was.
I mean, and we're following Ernie, and Ernie has a heavy foot, a really heavy foot, and here I am going, and he's got Mexican plates on his car and everything else, and I'm going, we're driving here with a friggin' roof bag loaded to the gills, U.S. plates on the car, and we're driving about 30 kilometers over the speed limit.
Yeah.
But I don't dare lose him because then I don't know where the hell we're going. And so, I'm going on. Of course, come to find out that 30 kilometers, whatever. We didn't know, though. I mean, this is the first time we've ever driven in Mexico. And so, but by the time we got there into Monterrey, drove from Reynosa to Monterrey, had lunch with Ernie and his lovely wife, and then got a tour of their house in Monterrey that got flooded. And God, that's a shame because that was a lovely house. And then got into our automoteles for the night. The next morning when we woke up and started driving and making the drive from Monterrey to Aguascalientes, it was a whole new adventure. And we were so focused on the adventure and everything else that what was on that side of the border was gone.
It's like we pushed it out of our minds because
gone.
We had this new excitement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just getting used to being in a new place, in a new country.
And not even speaking the language. I mean, we got stopped at every state line. And
until Rick got us a VC box, we didn't even watch the news. We hadn't watched the news in almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed somebody's been watching the news a little bit too much.
But it really is that it does not take long because you get excited about what's going on and what's ahead of you, and it's real easy to forget what's back there. And I'm going to say 98% of the Americans or the citizens of the United States and Canadians that we have met down here have had exactly the same mindset as far as that shit's on the other side of the border. It doesn't affect us down here. We have run into some who are holding on to the angst from the other side of the border, and we just excuse ourselves and
try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people ask us when they meet us what our political leanings are, what our views are, and we try to just avoid the question because you know what? We're not there.
As Pandora's box.
We're here.
And that is we have learned that's a buzzword to start a fight.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of which way you answer, it's a buzzword to start going down that rabbit hole. And we don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No.
We like the rabbit hole of Mexico.
Yeah.
And so, we focus on that, and, everybody's life has led them on a journey that they voted for who they wanted to vote for, and they were right to vote for the person that they chose to vote for. And you know what? More power to you.
And that's all we're going to say about that.
That's it. Pull a Forrest Gump.
Here you go.
That's all there is to say on that.
There you go. So here's some German for you. Yes, Mark. I ain't
even going there.
And meet a Deutsch something German. Nightmare. Nicht mehr. I think that means nightmare. Figure that out.
I ain't had enough beer yet.
Okay. So further clarification from David. Ran out of room. Okay. Resident status is analogous to why they started to offer
the
regularization. The alternate is if they start using UMA.
Yes.
Yeah. If they start using UMA, that's interesting. And he goes, you can only exchange your temporary resident visa to a permanent resident visa in the 30 days before your temporary resident visa expires.
Yeah, you just have to plan ahead. I mean, you just go, okay, 4 years from now, boom, And we know that in 2020, November of 2026, we turn in our residente temporal for residente permanente, pay our little amount that we're going to pay, and we are now permanent residents of Mexico.
You know,
And then we have to drive the border and sell the car, or we figure out if we want to just pay the import tax.
I mean, in the long run, you do save money going straight for permanent residency.
You do.
Excuse me.
And if you're not going to bring a car, because our original goal was we were tossing it around. Do we want to go permanent? Do we want to go temporary? Then when we came up with the idea of doing a 4-year drive around Mexico tour, we went, well, we're going to need a car.
Yeah.
And so then it was like, well, that, we have a car. We don't want, how are we going to get our stuff across the border? So we went, you know what? We're just going to keep the car, do temporary. By then, we will have figured out where we're going to go and where we're going to drop anchor, drop our stuff off, pack a small suitcase, drive to the border, sell the car, come home. So
many words. We did exactly how you described, got a dumpster and did our thing.
It gets easier. I mean, every time you dump something in that dumpster, it got easier.
And Anne, I sold my house through an awesome realtor that does as-is sales. Packed my bags and walked away. Do whatever you want with all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
And literally, the key word there, stuff. Because a lot of it really is just that, stuff. I mean, it's like George Carlin, you buy a bigger house, you buy more stuff because you want your stuff in your house. When you go on vacation, what do? You take your stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's stuff.
It's just stuff. And, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. I'll need your sourdough muffin recipe. I've been baking bread for 2 years now. Haven't ventured out from that yet.
I think you have that on one of the videos. Didn't you do a video on that?
I did a video. It's kind of like in a miscellaneous playlist, but I did do a video on making sourdough English muffins, and I have posted the recipe on our YouTube community tab, and I posted it in Instagram and Facebook as well. I will repost it. I'll find it and share it again, and you'll be able to find it that way. It's a really easy recipe.
The starter's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Once you get the starter done, I mean, we crossed the border with a small little jar of starter.
I had a big mason jar of starter that was about 4 to 5 years old, and what I had to do was I had to dehydrate it. So I literally spread it all out on parchment, a couple of sheets of parchment, let it dry up, and then I pulverized it in a food processor and carried it across the border with us. It's basically, I just have a powder. And then I rehydrated some of it, and that's what I've been using since we got into Mexico. I still have some of the powder in case I lose a starter for some reason and I have to start over. But yeah, that's what I used.
Yep.
And it's been going strong. So my starter now is 7 years old.
Yeah.
7, 8 years old. Yeah. And it probably has a totally different flavor profile now that we're in Mexico, because what a starter is it's basically the natural yeast spores floating in the air where you happen to be, and it gets in there and starts fermenting. That's why,
good Lord, you're going to have ash.
I mean, that's why San Francisco has such a popular reputation for having great bread.
And the same thing goes with the pizza doughs. That's why certain locations have great pies, because the water and the yeast. And
downsizing was tough, but the dumpster did help. We had 25 years of stuff in a 2-story, now in 7 suitcases. Oh my gosh, Lisa. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine, because we moved from the Charlotte, North Carolina region to the Asheville, North Carolina region. And we had a garage full of stuff that we threw away a lot of things. And so we moved those,
we sort of downsized before we downsized. I
yeah,
mean,
and we moved all that stuff into Asheville. Well, more than half of that stuff that we moved to Asheville stayed in the garage for the entire time we were in Asheville. So for another 6 years, it sat in boxes in this garage. And that's where we were. We had this stuff that we never unpacked from the
we
last
didn't
move.
use it in 6 years.
Yeah,
We didn't need it.
it's true. It's true. Oh, yes, Gina should have a Sunday brunch: muffins, huevos rancheros, frijoles, and lots of champagne, micheladas.
All right, hold on. Tom's missing one thing because I know Tom. He doesn't mention limes anywhere, and Tom puts limes on everything.
So do I.
I know, but Tom is like,
Wilfredo, my vinyl records, cassette CDs, and DVD are on their way here. Should be here sometime next week. Oh, that's awesome. Someday that'll be me.
yes.
Someday. Someday. Um, David, Jesse, you asked about detoxing from negativity after or two, after every stranger you see looks you in the eye with a smile and says buenos dias. That is true. That is true. The smiles and the sense of community in Mexico is contagious. You know, you smile at someone, they smile back. You greet them, they greet you back. Total strangers walking on the street. I would say 99% of the time, if I'm passing someone and I say buen dia, they say it back. So it makes you feel good. Um, you feel you start to feel that sense of community with the people that you're living around, and it is so much better, and makes you feel so much lighter. So true. Oh, Mark, got one for you.
Okay.
Heights and holes. Heights and holes. When I was younger, I was working toward applying for astronaut training. The one training I wish I had gotten to do was where they put you in a bag for like half a day.
Oh hell no. No. No.
Oh, Mark.
No.
Oh. And here's the thing. When I was a kid, I was the kid that was out in the woods walking across a log that was barely as wide as my feet, about 20 feet up off the ground. That's what I used to do. All right, Greg, in the modern online world, they need to stop making library one of the first words you learn in a second language. It's not going to be something everyone is going to be talking about.
Probably very true.
I guess.
But it's a shame because the biblioteca at Santo Domingo in Oaxaca
Mhm.
is something to behold. It's
It was.
it probably was the second most breathtaking library I have ever walked in, with the first being the Biltmore. The library in Biltmore is just, and then when they tell you, I mean, if you've never been to the Biltmore in Asheville, it's a 2-story. The room is 2 stories high, and it is full of books. And when you find out that is only 1/3 of the books that Vanderbilt accumulated that are on display, because that library would only hold 1/3 of his collection. It's just like, whoa.
Makes you wonder if he read them all. I think he was more of a collector than he was
Whatever.
a reader.
It's mind blowing to walk into that place.
And Jesse, are y'all planning on getting Mexican citizenship? No. There's a couple reasons for that. One is that I don't know how truthful this is, if it's even accurate, but I've heard that you get more help from the U.S. consulate in Mexico without having Mexican citizenship. Like once you get that Mexican citizenship, you may not, at the time you may need it, may not get the help that.
I think the other part of that is quite honestly, while we like to immerse ourselves into the community, we're not qualified to know enough of the history
Yeah,
and the
the
politics and
history and
everything
language.
else. And you know, I'm going to trust my Mexican friends here to make the right decisions when it comes to elections. And
Community and policy and things like that. We're not well versed. Yeah, we're learning, but with that language barrier, and yes, we're learning that too. We're never going to be completely aware of
no,
all the
no,
nuances of being an actual citizen.
and
You know,
how it affects people of all different
yeah,
layers
yeah,
in socioeconomic, stratus, and no, we take exactly the same mentality. We're registered in South Dakota. Would we vote for the dog catcher in Sioux Falls? No, we don't know the people. I mean, or who the city councilman or the county commissioners. We don't know those, and so would it be right for us to cast a vote on something we know nothing about and quite honestly doesn't affect us? Now, living here in Mexico, you can say yes, it would affect us, but I think
yeah.
we're probably better off.
I think
And
just being a resident
yeah,
with
and
legal residency status is enough for us. Yeah,
if they're going to let us stay in the country, that's all we care. Yeah,
yeah. And maybe someday, if they say if you want to stay, you have to have citizenship, we might consider it. But
plus
you know,
the test is in
it's in Spanish.
Spanish.
It's in Spanish, and you need to know some history. I think you don't have to take it if you're over a certain age, though. I think I've heard that,
I think that is correct. I think Ernie said that, and
but it was never our plan to get
no,
citizenship here. We just wanted to reside, and maybe down the road that might change, but it doesn't feel like it. At least not at the moment.
not 2 years in.
Yeah. Let's see. Laura, totally agree. I went to Mazatlan for the week of our election just for peace and quiet. Yes. Yes. The starter I have is 5 years old from a dear friend sharing hers. Awesome. Awesome. Good deal. I love sourdough so much. We went to Puerto Vallarta during the election for the same reason. And Laura, I'm with Mark. Hell no.
Nope.
Oh, Tom, with all, oh, don't, Greg. Oh, okay. Greg, all due respect.
Yes.
Maybe they should bring libraries back. Yeah. Read a book 35 years ago by Steve Allen, The Dumbing Down of America. We have surpassed what he wrote. Mm,
I'm gonna tell you the best thing that I have brought to Mexico is my Kindle.
yeah,
I read every day. When I was on the other side of the border, that was not the case.
that's true.
But now,
Because he was watching the news all the time.
now I am catching up. And literally, I have read. Oh my God, in 2 years, I probably read 500 books. I mean, I read, and I've got a membership with Mid Continent Library, and they have the digital selection, and so I just go on there, and I'm able to get books for free, and I plow through them, and it's the best thing. My mom bought it for me as an early birthday present before we came down, and I have been
So
motoring through books.
I live in the free zone of Baja. Here you can drive your foreign plated car basically without a tip for as many years as you want, even with a permanent residency visa. Subaru is a beast on the soft sand
Yeah, if
beaches.
we end up in
Yeah, if we
Baja,
If we end up over there, sure. But if we don't end up over there, well,
that's the free zone. I don't know if that applies to. I think all the peninsula, if I remember correctly, is free zone.
but the point is, if we end up in that area, then yeah, we could keep our car, but we don't know if we will. And if we don't end up in that area, then we're going to have to return the car and get it sold, and
Yeah.
or maybe try, depending on
What the cost is.
what the cost is, maybe try to get it nationalized. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
2 more years to figure that out.
Yep. We're not quite there yet.
Nope.
And thank you, Terry, for that pat on the back. Totally agree with both your takes on that subject. And thank you for this comment. Why on earth would someone ask your political leanings? Rhetorical question. No need to read it out loud. Because I have friends on Facebook that I see all the time who just cannot let it go.
Either
And
way.
Either way, I've watched them both do it. I watched both sides do this. Most of my friends are left leaning, and at least half of those friends are so vocal right now and so very angry right now. And there's no question where they lean. And it didn't matter. Even during the flood in Asheville, you could not read about the flood in Asheville without somebody bringing politics into it. It didn't matter. I mean,
it's so-and-so's fault. It's so-and-so. It's like
constant. It's constant. And so, yeah, why would they do this? Why would they ask? Because they want you to think like them, because that's where we are now. It's an us versus them. And if they don't think like us, we can't trust them. That's how people are right now.
And the sad part is that's the part of the divisiveness
that we left.
And when people stop having conversations with each other,
mm-hmm.
and they start talking at each other, they stop learning, because somebody made a vote because of their life's history. And if you stop and learn about that person, you find out they have valid reasons for voting the way that they did. And you know what? They have the right to make that vote, whichever way they want to do it. And if we listen to them, we may find out that, we have a lot more in common than we do that's apart from each other.
Yeah.
And so you build on the common ground, and you start there and you build out. But the secret is you talk with each other. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them accordingly.
Exactly. And Bob, Residence Permanente, thanks to wife's insistence, drive our cars in entire Baja and Sonora State. Yeah.
Well,
free
Quintana
Roo.
But you can't get there.
Quintana Roo also does not require a tip. But how the hell are you going to get your car there without one?
That's a big risk.
Yeah, I mean
that's a long.
Pretty much how that couple
drive.
Lost their van.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there either. But yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand why Quintana Roo has that, but they do, and I don't know how you get your car there without having to have a tip to get it there. So, don't know. At least it makes sense with the peninsula.
You can drive down from California, and yeah.
La Reina Corazon. Oh, wait. I think I know what that is. The Queen of Hearts, or Queen Heart, or Heart Queen, right?
Queen of Hearts.
Yes. I think the weather is perfect for a good carne asada, accompanied by some good beers. Greetings from Monterrey. Greetings.
We liked our day that we spent in Monterrey.
Carne asada.
Good God, there's a lot of cars for such small amount of concrete in Monterrey. That was like, wow.
And he's great friends. Oh, and he's let's see. How is the car holding up on all the travels? Well, good actually.
Yeah,
But
we're still doing maintenance on it and everything
yeah,
else.
oil changes, tire checks.
hmm we're not doing it as often, but the reason we're not doing it as often is we're not putting the miles on it. I
No.
mean, quite honestly, we get someplace and the car can go. I mean, in Oaxaca, we took the car out once
Yeah.
in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Once. So it doesn't get, it's a totally different way of life down here that, you know, in the US, we were getting in the car every day
For everything.
for everything.
Yeah.
Here, we walk.
We walk as much as we can. We do try to find centrally located places. So we were either in a barrio that has a lot of resources or we're in Centro. Um, Realistically, that may not happen when we actually go to live somewhere permanently. Uh, but I like it that way because it gives us a chance to get out and get on foot and explore the neighborhood better.
Well, and I think this has also been true that the longer we have been in Mexico, the less we drive. When we first got to Querétaro, we were driving everywhere.
We had to, though.
I know, I understand that, but I think that the longer we've been here, the more we have started to walk.
Yeah.
And so the less we have become dependent upon having the car, and the more we're willing to go. It's 10 blocks, 12 blocks, 15 blocks.
Yeah.
Let's go. And we walk it. And so I think it's taken some reprogramming of the brain to go, well, let's just get in the car and go.
I mean, you see a lot of things when you're walking, right? You pass interesting stores and restaurants. You see interesting people. And that's part of the fascination of being here,
It is. Yeah.
for sure. I, uh-oh. My dog has lymphoma. I'm sorry. I take him to the beach as much as possible. Last time I was there, someone lectured me that should be treating his lymphoma with ivermectin. Dude was serious. Can't escape it.
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if ivermectin helps lymphoma, but it's not cool. It's not cool that you're getting lectured.
No.
Yeah. I mean, on the alternative hand, maybe that is something you could look into, but you should not be subjected to
No.
somebody lecturing you about it. So yeah, you can't escape it, right? We still have people to tell us, from the states. Uh, we have somebody who works for a pharmaceutical in the family who couldn't believe we were taking ivermectin for
COVID.
COVID. Yeah,
And
so.
the doctor who was right next door to us, that was what he told us, take the ivermectin.
Yeah,
So,
he says you'll be good in 5 days.
and we were.
And we were. Forgot to tell you guys that I've been finishing off a bottle of Bordeaux. No, I haven't changed. Did you want me
No,
to?
no changes, Tommy. None.
Hey, Tom, I saw your sunglasses in the back of our car.
Actually, I think the last time we moved it, they slipped underneath the seat, but we know where they're at.
Yeah. And in Puerto Vallarta, everything is in walking distance to the townhouse we're renting. So we are excited about the new adventures and challenges.
That's the fun of it. It really is.
Yep.
And it is an adventure, and it is a challenge because learning a language, learning to negotiate a totally different way of life, because it is totally different down here. It's not the same, not even remotely the same, and only for the better.
I was proud of myself the other day. I'm sure I butchered it and said it completely wrong, but we walked up to Centro so I could get a haircut. And I attempted to ask if I needed to have an appointment. I know I didn't say things right, but I was kind of like, necesito una cita para cortar mi pelo, right?
Yep.
I may have not said it right, but I got the idea across. I'm happy that I was able to do that. Yes, I will get better. But she knew exactly what I was trying to say. And you know what? I didn't need a cita. She literally had me sit in the silla And I waited, and she cut my hair in like 15 or 20 minutes. $9.
180 peso for a haircut
Yeah.
on a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, me, I get, because let's be for real, there ain't a lot to cut. But for her, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I was figuring it was going to be. I was figuring it was going to run us 500 pesos with the tip.
Well, first of all, we're in Puebla. It's a big city, and we're in Centro. So we figured it was going to be a lot more than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we gave her the she said 180, here's 200, and she was ready to go get changed. No.
No.
No necesito cambio. Todo es bueno.
Aquí tiene.
Aquí tiene.
All right. Those sunglasses cost me $10,000 at Walmart. You better have them.
I've been keeping those damn things for a year and a half now almost. So, yeah, I've still got them.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It has been 2.5 hours, actually a little bit over, and we're getting cold. It's getting chilly.
The temperature is going down.
It is. I wonder what it is. I'm going to look real quick. I'm going to tell you guys what the temperature is. Ooh, even my phone's cold. It is 57 degrees, and it's not done yet, so it'll probably be.
It is one of the things of Mexico, and it's similar to it's similar to the U.S., not necessarily similar to Canada, because all of Canada gets cold in the winter.
What is that in Celsius?
I don't know.
57.
10, 12. But, it is such a diverse climate. If we were in Huatuco right now, there would be no jackets. It'd be.
Ooh, you were close.
I know.
14.
And, PV or a QR, it'd be like, okay, it's warm. You get along the coast, it's warm. You get into the Central Highlands, there's a variety of temperatures, and it gets cold at night. I mean, it's and
there's no heater and no air here.
Our blood has thinned since we've come down here. I mean, that's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because I remember when we first got down here, I was still wearing tank tops, and Romy and Liz were in puffy jackets, and it was like, are you guys crazy? It's nice, and they're like, are you crazy? It's cold. And now it's like, okay.
Yeah, we got used to it. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Enjoy Puebla, and make sure you get to Atlixco. I'm practicing. And enjoy Cholula. Both beautiful towns.
We're looking forward to it.
We are looking forward to it. We really are. And thank you, Terry. Great guy, great live. Sorry Lisa didn't make it. Yeah. At least she's here. She got it. She got it at the end. It's cool. Thank you for coming. We are going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will be back again live in 2 weeks. It'll be our last live from Puebla before we head back to Querétaro. We got a couple videos coming out. This week, we have an interview with a woman who has lived in Oaxaca for 6 years.
Yep.
So if you're interested in Oaxaca and what it's like to live there, be sure to watch that.
Or a single woman.
For a single woman.
Yes.
The week after that, we have basically our top list of things you can do in Oaxaca City. And then we will have another interview with Michael and Luisa from Retired Life Mexico. Then we're going to wrap up Oaxaca and go into Puebla in the video. So we're always about a month behind, which you guys probably realize by now. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Stay safe. Hopefully see you both in San Miguel in January. Big hug. Oh, thank you, Tom.
Yes. And speaking of which, anybody who can make it, wants to make it, we hope to see you all there, because we're hoping to have one hell of a big party.
I'm hoping so.
I don't know about the other YouTubers, but I know that the party will be going on one side. So
for sure. And thank you, Jesse. All right,
Thanks,
y'all.
Jesse.
Thank you so much.
Go Heels. Beat BC.
Thank you so much. We will see you again in 2 weeks. We are closing it out.
That's it.